Yo, you are live on the JT Experience, man. Welcome. It is Thursday, October the 30th. We are one day away from the end of the month and the beginning of Thanksgiving season. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in and everybody that's checking us out. I am DJ Poet JT, and you are here live on City World Media checking out the JT Experience. And we're going to kick it off with the holiday Halloween anthem of the season, and that is Trick or Treat by Poet JT featuring Minister T Breeze here live on City World Media. You are locked, man, from my city to your world. We're about to get it kicked off, y'all. Trick, trick, trick. Sweet tooth, everybody wanna eat. Sound mind, need to pray before I sleep. Spiritual fight, and I'm fighting on your feet. I want nothing from the devil, no tricks. I want deep peace, you know. Every post still got Joe. Celebrate the day, man, not the evil day. Make it a holy day, get it, not a holiday. All the saints in the building, what you say? All the saints in the building, what you say? About to drop a stack of praying hands on you. Tattoo, put some praying hands on you. Get it with no ink and no sleep. Prayers how the boy always gotta eat. Dressing up, but is you hot or cold? Ain't no promise that, baby, for your soul. When I was a kid, I was thinking about that candy. So much I couldn't fit it in a pantry. Costume cute, but I see the plot. Holy Ghost red light, devil style. Been prayed up all year. Christ walking on the track, no fear. Putting crosses on the pumpkins this year. All the saints do it like this here. That's sweet. God got me no trick or treat like ooh. That's sweet. God got me no trick or treat like ooh. That's sweet. God got me no trick or treat like ooh. That's sweet. God got me no trick or trees. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks. Freddie, Jason, even Michael don't run the show. Not even Swift or Kelsey can drop these rhymes and run these numbers. Promotion, marketing is the name of the game. Trick or treat. Society screaming bloody murder as we watch horror in the government. Nothing fictional, all based on a true story. Fraud, manipulation, racism, sexism, you name it, it is on demand. In court, media loving it, yet we the people suffering. Trick or treat. Give me something good to eat. A sweet treat, a Swiss roll. Even the candy apple, which definitely ain't better than that candy corn. Give me a Reese's, a Snickers, even an almond joy. Maybe a 3 Musketeers with a little butterfingers. Why enjoy that baby Ruth? Trick or treat or treat. Savor the flavor, enjoy the floor. Roll what you want, rare or well done. Whether I settle for Hertz or just play that Prescott, one thing's for sure: America is on display. Don't be fooled by your fantasy score, 'cause just like that life, it's still played out on the field. Trick or treat, is fulfilled. Yeah, that's the anthem, man, for Halloween season, man. We are Trick or Treat. My guy, Minister T Breeze, on the track with me. I really appreciate him jumping on and doing his thing, man. Again, we are here, man, and just lucky another Thursday. A lot going on in the world, man. And I'll tell you this: we got to be in a mode of serving in this season, because there's a lot of people going through stuff. There's a lot of people that's hurting. There's a lot of people that just trying to figure it out. And in this mode, in this season, I am in the mentality that I need to serve and do, my due diligence, because
You never know when you are and would be that person that is going through it. And we have to remind ourselves and be mindful that, it can be any of us at any time and in any place. And you want to be in a made up mindset to be like, okay, this is what I can do. God put something on my heart. And, it's one of those things that I really want to push the agenda on what to do.
What's up? It's your girl Kendra D from Life with Ken, the podcast show. You are now tuned into City World Media with DJ Poet JT on the JT Experience Show.
Yeah, had to let that play. It came in, live TV is what it is, radio. And we appreciate Kendra Dree. Big shout out to her. She got creative content coming real soon. So definitely want to tap into that. As I was saying, man, we just gotta be mindful. And in the season with so much that's going on, we have to be mindful of the fact that life just don't be life, and there's people that's really going through stuff, families that's really going through things, and we need to stay aware that it could be any of us at any time, and that's just the way it goes, man. I mean, we want to be in a situation where we good, but you just never know. You never know what that look like, how that's going, and what a person is actually going through. So, on the strength of that, we're going to get some inspiration and motivation. We're going to go to the brand new track from Nakia. This track is called Alone. You here on City World Media. You are looking and listening to the JT Experience.
Alone. A 5-letter word that no one ever sees coming. So she's having your baby. Shit got me feeling kinda crazy. Never thought that you would be the one that would up and lead me. How can you tell me that you love me when all you ever do is leave me? Put that on everything. This'll be the last time you need me. Tired of trying to make you see I'm the one you really need. See me for who I am. I was riding with you till the end. No more crying, no more trying. I'm just dying. Being here alone, alone, alone. No more lying, I still trying. I was dying in this world alone, 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 alone. So you're telling me you love her. Hope you'll be a better man for her. Never thought I'd see the day I would have the strength to walk away. Wish I could turn back time, 'cause all you did was waste my time. But broken hearts mend in time. It's your karma, it's not mine. I'm tired of trying to make you see I'm the one you really need. See me for who I am. I was riding with you till the end. No more crying, no more trying. I'm just dying, being here alone, 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 alone. No more lying, I'm still trying. I was dying in this world alone, 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 alone.
That is new music from Nakia, Alone, here on the JT Experience, man. We really appreciate her sharing her brand new track with us. It's just definitely amazing, man, to get, brand new music, man, and for the talent that's out here, doing their thing, man. It is amazing. We're in that season, man, where, Halloween. And so we're gonna, do our thing, to celebrate that for what it is here. A holiday that as a kid I always, it was just, being a kid, the innocence of a kid, not putting a whole lot of reference into it. It was just another holiday, unlike, some of the other holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas that, really had a real meaning. So we're gonna go into this particular track. And you'll be familiar with it because it's one that kind of is one that goes along with the season. So here we are here on the JT Experience. Stay locked in, man. And here we go. Here's the next track.
Something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If there's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. You see things running through your head. Who can you call? Ghostbusters! An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Oh, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you're all alone, pick up the phone and call Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I have lights to gas. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! You have ghosts, freaking ghosts, baby. You better call Ghostbusters! Buster makes me feel good. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Don't get caught alone, oh no. Ghostbusters! When it comes through your door, unless you just want some more, I think you better call Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Think you better call Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I can't hear you. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Louder! Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call?
Live on the show. I know you recognize the theme that goes along with Halloween. Again, man, we in the midst, man, on this Thursday, just moving through, grooving through here on the JT Experience. And again, we was talking a little earlier about just being mindful of what we're going in this season. And it feels even more different in this particular season. So be mindful of your neighbor. The thing of how you doing, are you okay? Those things hit different in this season. I can tell you, just because of where we are, in this, thing. It's just one of those things. Uh, um, that it kind of chokes me up, because I ride my city and I know that, it's a different day and time. I see more homeless people than I am accustomed to seeing, or more than I've seen in my life. So it reminds me, people are going through it. Our food pantries, our community giveaways are going to be a little bit more busier. It's already, busier. But if you have a moment, go to my Facebook page at James Sherman Thompson, and there's a list of um, daily help in the area here in the Rock Hill, South Carolina area. If you are a family in need, if you're an individual in need, their contact numbers on there as well. Because man, these days and times are different. I mean, and we have to be mindful of those things. And I'm one that I truly believe that it's great to reach out to your neighbor, because you never know what um, that person is going through, and it ain't a political thing. It's a human nature thing. It's a humanity thing. To know that we lend a helping hand in this moment, in this hour, and it doesn't cost a thing when you're speaking about reaching out and helping someone. It's just one of those things that you know I take near and dear to the heart. So let us remember our fellow man in this season, especially as we go through not just the holiday season, because this is life right now, and it's one of those things that we got to stay mindful of that. And no, I'm gonna give you a track here. We back on the JT Experience. I'm gonna give you a track that some have heard, maybe new to some and old to others, but here we believe in love, and we're talking about love. And in the season of love that we're saturating the atmosphere from, they have a single called Love 2.0. This is Poet JT here on the JT Experience. Stay locked in, y'all. The most incredible feeling and emotion at an all-time high. If it's a dream, don't wake me up. To feel it is to know it. When you deeply in it, striving for forever and always, infinity will be the cherry on top. Before God, saying those vows and dedicating our lives to be together as one, always, through thick and thin, sickness and health, the great, the understanding, the unexpected, the obstacles. No matter what, I promise to love you always. Love incredibly and passionately. Love always. Poet JT. Of the night, I held you tight. Oh, I love you so. strongest, passionate, unique, and blessed feeling we can feel. Close your eyes and imagine being on the island of paradise. Like all your dreams come true in fantasies as well. The love like no other. The feeling you always dreamed of. Unconditional, infinite, with a passion that will burn forever and always. Let your heart be free in the experience and love that can't be made up. It's for real and will leave you speechless. I got it, embraced it, and fell head over heels. Established 728. Love forever. Again I say, Poet JT. Yeah, music from Poet JT, Love 2.0. And if you don't understand how important it is in this season to show love to your fellow neighbor, I can't express it enough. Man, when I say the song hit different, I understood the place of where I was writing from when I wrote that song, and it just became an instant hit in my mind in my moment. So it just, one of those things, man, that I'm proud to have, that moment, and to spread love. And more love in the atmosphere, the better things can really rock and roll in this life. Because, I think it's a missing element in our society. Is not enough. When I say love needs to be saturated in the air, I can say it with 1,000 tongues, and it's still not enough. Hate has no place in our atmosphere, and I think there's way too much of it that exists. Too much, in my opinion. When I think about, the ways that some of us struggle with that, you think, with how that goes, it's really wild to think about, how that goes. Love on each other, man. You know, be a saint that that can really be one of joy, happiness, and infusing the atmosphere. With that, when I think about sometimes distractions that dominate our atmosphere, we can change the narrative just by you know putting our mindset to positivity and pouring into our fellow man. I cannot tell you, how many times in this life you walk in the journey and you do something extraordinarily out of the kindness of your heart. And it's not about cameras. It's not about, notation, notification. You know, it's you operating with the same pride that you see, from that individual that you're pouring into. And you have a healthy respect for, just staying in a real lane, when it comes from that. So I'm one, to always say, it's the moment that we stop pouring into each other that we really are losing in this life. If you're not trying to be proactive and positive and, trying to, help your neighbor, then it's like, what are we really doing? And if you've been in a lot of our neighborhoods and you see how things go, you'd be even more incredibly minded of the fact that we have to be careful about how we treat each other, how we go about, our daily moves, because there's somebody that's going through a situation that is not like our own. And in keeping that in mind, I think is a very, very important, thing. Especially when you talk about pouring into each other and, really being one way, with it, because life have a way of life, man, sometimes. And we don't know, you know, who going through something, because the journey is really different, man. The journey can be really different when you just trying to figure it out. You just moving from, one thing to the next. And, a lot of time our pride, you know, will bear some, some different type of things. And you have to be, you know, intentional with what you're pouring in, to someone, because you just never know when, someone is in dire needs or going through stuff. And I'm famous for saying in a lot of events, man, we do not look like what we go through. I don't think there's a day and time that, that is, a real thing. A lot of times, we are steadfast in knowing how to put on a great face. And a lot of times when it's like that, we don't realize that, somebody could be right there, in our midst, and could be hurting and could be, really going through, something. And it's one of those things that when you go through it, it's not the same. It's just not. And to see somebody hurting, is even a more, significant thing, to think about. Um, and you want to be mindful of what that look like. You know, the person that says that I'm okay is not always okay. And if you read the line in between, some people just say just okay. Okay. For that particular moment, in that particular hour, they could be going through the storm and really, 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 um, you know, be hurting. And hurt is a thing that can be traumatic, can be compromising, can put you in a rough place, and, truly, be a rough place. Um, so, um, yeah, that's why writing is something that I encourage. Reading is something that I encourage, because it's two things that I take the time out to do. And for me, it feeds the soul different and does something different for me. So I encourage that if it's one of those two things that you like to do, to easily do that, and it brings you and takes you to a whole nother world. Sometimes we just need that, that steadfast and that break, to just come and go into another world and escape from some of the craziness of reality. And sometimes it can give you what you need in order to, get into a whole nother mindset. I'm, it's, it's one of those things that if, it's one of those things that when you really get what that's about, it takes you to a whole nother place, in your mind and in your atmosphere, so it's something that, when we talk about, mental health, and when we talk about things that are, essential, I got a guest that's coming on the show that can tell you about how those things go and how important mental health is. So we're live on the JT Experience, and I got my guy, my brother, on the line with me, and that's Dr. CT Kirk. How you doing, my brother? Man, it is an honor and a privilege to have you on the show, man. We are in the midst of talking about the importance of mental health. And so I need you to talk about that brand new book that you got out and some of the experiences that you can talk on where it pertains to mental health and how important it is to bring it to the forefront.
Yes, sir. I got a new book called Breaking the Silence: How to Hear and Heal the Wounds of Men. And I wrote that book basically as a guide for both males and females to be able to understand how important it is for men to be able to take care of their mental health. A lot of times as men, we have been trained and we have been pushed toward protecting our family, listening to our wives, being everything for our children. But a lot of times we haven't been taught how to deal with our own mental health. We haven't been taught to take self-care days, to be able to journal, to be able to talk it out with mature men, or we don't get into a place where even our significant others understand a lot of things that we're going through because we're too afraid. We've been taught toxic male masculinity, that you don't cry, that you don't express yourself. And because of that, it has made many of us in our mental health, we become zombies, we become emotionalists, and we don't even understand why. It's because we're not dealing with the importance of being able to talk things out and get things off our chest. And so the first thing I thought about when I thought about mental health illness was, mental health was how many men are in pulpits serving as deacons, football coaches, basketball coaches, with a lot of things on the inside of them are never able to get those things out. And we see now 80% of suicides in America are men because we have been taught not to be able to talk our emotions out, but deal with it as men. And so I had to break that stigma and kind of write a book that shows people that we have feelings too.
So when we talk about men in general, what is the thing that sticks out to you about why men are so, I guess taught to hold it in and not show emotion, and if they do show emotion, then it's labeled as weakness. Talk a little bit about that stigma and how we break that stigma.
When I was a little kid, if you felt that and you got hurt, you got a scrape on your leg, man, tell y'all, man, get up. You ain't no punk, or you ain't no sissy. Stop that crying. And so it gives to us that, you almost have to be dead to any kind of feeling or any kind of emotion. And we can see that going all the way back from the days where men were taught that the only thing you had to do was go home, put your check on the table, the wife did all the bill paying, and then you went and sat in the chair and you watch TV. Well, now we're in a world now where it's kind of being more common to talk about these things, but because we haven't been taught that as a kid, we don't know how to express that. And so that's something new to us now until we have a breakdown or until we go through, until we're fired from our jobs. And then all of a sudden, or we're about to lose our relationship, our marriage is going down. Then we want to be able to talk about those things, and we figure out that a lot of men did not deal with unresolved issues as children. And because of that, now they're starting to see struggles in relationships. They see struggles in job, their identity, how they relate, because something as a child was not taught. Because again, a lot of us who are men now didn't grow up necessarily with a fatherly figure. And those that did have a father may not have had a father that understood what it took to be vulnerable. And so within that, we got a big gap and we got a big misunderstanding of what it takes for us as men to be able to effectively talk our problems out so that our mental health can be great.
So for our youth that's listening in and watching the show here on the JT Experience today, what are some of the things that you would encourage them to do as young people to kind of navigate through some of the challenges that they face?
I would tell every young person, get you a good mentor. Go to someone and say, hey, I need a mentor because there's some things about life that I don't understand. This generation now is more vulnerable to the tricks and the traps because they have so much at their fingertips. Through their phone, they can access more than we were able to access when I was a child. With that comes a greater level of responsibility because now you have so many different forces that are working. We know that forces like demonic forces work through portals. They work through what we see, they work through what we hear, and they work through what we say. And so they have to be able to guard those portals against those attacks by being able to have somebody who is wise that can say, you know what, it's okay for you to cry, man of God. It's okay for you to be able to go through. It's okay. You ain't gonna always have the answers. You're not gonna always be able to fix it. And for our young ladies to be able to understand that, hey, when you get into a relationship, you need to be able to be understanding, to be able to listen to your husband as well, because a lot of times the husbands are being trained, listen to your wives, but the wives are not necessarily trained to listen to your husbands. And so with those young people, we need to get them male mentorship. They need to be able to express themselves and know that it's okay to have feelings, that you don't have to walk around hard, because the minute they walk around hard, the first thing that happens is ego becomes more important than understanding.
Yeah, you make a great point. And it brings me to my next question, and let them know, your my audience know your books, the other books that you have out, and titles, and how they can get all of these books.
Okay, my first book, Learn to Make Your Mind, tells you about the struggles and how to go through the struggles of life but still have joy. And then JT is sad, but I think I might have created this whole trail ride phenomenon when I wrote the book, How the West Was Whitewashed, and I don't get no credit for it. I don't get to go to the trail rides or nothing, but that book talks about the story of African Americans and how we helped build up a West and got no credit for it. My third book is called Why Me Boys Are Molested Too. And that is the story of how to overcome childhood molestation and how to walk through trauma, being able to heal from trauma. And then this fourth book again is Breaking the Silence, how to hear and heal the inner wounds of men. And that is basically a book that will show females how to listen to their men, and men that it's okay to be vulnerable. And those books are available on all major platforms, Amazon, Goodreads, Thrift Books. You can find those books anywhere.
So let me ask you this, based off the titles of your books, what keeps you inspired and motivated to continue to put these books out and continue to pour into your community?
I think that these books are an outlet to another side of ministry outside the four walls. And so it's basically being able to give sermons to other people that may be dealing with situations that the church may necessarily not talk about a lot. When I was in church, there was no talks of molestation. There was no talks of acute trauma, chronic trauma. There was no talks about mental health and mental illness. There were no talks about these things. Everything that they felt in church then could be cast out with oil and prayer. But we see now that people have chemical balances that need therapy. They need counseling. And in order to be able to reach those kind of people, we've got to be able to put material in their hands to say, hey, yes, I'm a preacher. Yes, I'm a teacher. I've done things in the community, but I'm still human, and I still went through some things too. And if I can tell you my testimony, then it may help you break free from what you're going through.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. A lot of things going on in our community. I want to ask you about, how can we begin to get our young people to put these guns down and get confidence in them that they can be somebody without having to carry a gun or feel in fear of something going on or happening to them?
I think the best thing that we can do is we've got to get people involved into going to our elementary schools and our middle schools. We got to get these kids while they're young and they're open to advice and being able to hear. Most times when they get older, the only time they're ready to hear is when they make that mistake. And so if we can get volunteers, there are volunteer programs for men, there are volunteer programs for churches to be able to go in school. And even though you can't go in and spit the Holy Ghost and the gospel of Jesus Christ, you can show that you are involved and motivate kids. Hey, you know, the end of the road with guns is you got two choices. You're probably either going to jail or you're going to be or death, and be able to get those young people who are in those small grades. And then we've got to be able to volunteer with our young people and say simply this: ego is the number one killer of mankind. Not guns, not drugs, it's ego. Because when you feel like you got to prove yourself, you're going to go to any extent to be able to do it. And that's usually where they pick up guns, because you're not going to fight. You're not going to reason it out with words. You're not going to go to the boxing ring. You're going to go to a gun. And so being able to say, hey, Alonzo Lumpkin over there at the Rocky Hill Boxing Center said that anybody with a beef can come in there and box it out. The only deal is you settle it in the ring, and then you go home and make peace. Mm-hmm. And those are the kind of things that our young people need to hear, is that You got to let go of ego, because for 5 minutes of ego can cost you 20 years of your life.
You're right. You're right. And it's real. When you think about it, in my opening statement today on the show, I said we're in a season of unrest. We got a lot of things going on in our communities. What would you say to our families that are beginning to feel the struggle? And I'm not going to say it's just happening, but it's hitting a lot more people. And so in the season that we're walking upon, where people are being laid off and still trying to figure out how to put food on the table, what would you say to those people to keep them encouraged?
I would say this, the best time in our life was when we worked as a community. What happened in our generation is everybody started getting money, and money separated the community. And so rather than deal with the community, a lot of us moved out of the community to establish, I've got this, I'm better in my life. Well, now we see the importance of that if we would have been pouring into churches and we had those idea of starting church banks, when something goes on in the community, we wouldn't be behind, we'd be ahead of the game. If we were getting trained in how to do mortgages, if we was getting trained in how to be financially stable, when the storm came, we wouldn't be looking for shelter. We've already been built a refuge. Mm-hmm. So I think that anytime there's a storm that comes, it should motivate us. We see it when COVID happened, everything we were going to do. And then COVID passed away, and guess what? We went back to comfortable life. Well, now here's another storm, and now we're seeking shelter. I would tell those family members, connect with churches that are doing things in the community, because there are drives, and this is what happens every time there's a storm. The first thing that rises up in our earth is the churches. There are churches now, my church included, they're looking at getting donations to be able to donate to food banks. So those people who said that church wasn't important, I don't need to go to church, but yet and still, when the storm comes, the church is the first ones on the scene to say, hey, here's food, even though you didn't put nothing into this. So I would tell everybody, learn from these storms so that when they come around next time, you won't be caught unaware.
Well, Pastor Kirk, you bring up something that I've run into here recently, and I was kind of stuck. I had to pray about it and then come back with some commentary. But what do you say and suggest when you run? How do you deal with a person that is not a believer, or maybe have ran into something that kind of broke their spirit? How do we mend, or how do we kind of bring that person to a place to where they can, kind of seek what is needed? What do you say on that?
I would say this about any hurt. Until you are able to vocalize actually what hurt you, you're never going to be able to heal from it. I can't go on a person that says, I've been church hurt. I need to know what in the church hurt you so that we can begin to apply the right ointment. When we go to the doctor, we don't just say my leg is hurting. We say my ankle hurts, my toe hurts, this part of my ankle hurts, it's on outside, inside, so that we can get the right treatment. And so when a person says, okay, I've been hurt in a relationship, what in the relationship hurt you so that if it ever comes up again, you have the right medicine to be able to apply it to you. And I think that's what we're afraid as a society. We're afraid to talk things out and say, okay, you know what? I was hurt by a sermon. I was hurt by a person. I was hurt because I put money into this. And when I went to go get my light bill paid, they couldn't give me my money. What actually hurt you? And that's why I think Breaking the Silence is so important, the book, because it gets you to see, okay, what in your life hurt you? If your father hurt you when you were a child, you can't take that out on every other man or every other woman that you come in contact with. If a church hurt you, you can't take that out on every other church as though it's going to happen there. You've got to be able to talk about what is actually the problem so that you can begin to heal.
Great advice, man. Great advice here. You're listening to the JT Experience here on City World Media, and we have Pastor CT Kirk on the phone, has a brand new book out, Breaking the Silence, along with 3 other books that are out in the thing, and we're going to get them out of here on this right here. Pastor Kirk, I'm going to ask you, you are in the same club as me. When I go out, I represent my Cowboys. So I want to know how you deal with those same people that say that we not relevant, but we living rent free in your mind. How you deal with them haters that be coming each and every day?
That's just the thing. You've been talking about you. That means you're very relevant. You're very relevant. Nobody talks about nobody that's not relevant.
That part.
You don't never see a rich person spend all day talking about somebody who is not relevant to them.
You're right.
And so we talked about because we're relevant.
That's it.
I ain't heard nobody have a conversation about the Cleveland Browns yet.
Not yet. No, not yet. Tell our audience more about Solo Center and how people can connect with your church and connect with you.
Okay, the Solo Center, we're basically a church that does outreach in order to show our community the love of Christ. We are having November 25th, we're having a Love Thy Neighbor, where we invite the less fortunate to come in for Thanksgiving dinner. We give them supplies and everything. So literally, we leave our households and we stop our cooking for our community. Then we go back and we have Thanksgiving with our families. Our church services start every Sunday at 11 a.m. and we have Bible study on the first and third Wednesdays at 7 o'clock p.m. You can also find us online on Facebook, Sanctuary of Life Outreach Center. If you want to connect with me, my website is ctkirk.com. I made it real easy.
That's awesome, Pastor C.T. Kirk. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the JT Experience. And this will not be your last time on the show. I just wanted to get you on so we could, have this conversation and start the conversation. And I look forward to having you back on the JT Experience real soon.
That's right. I'm going to sit beside you next time I'm on that.
No doubt. Yes, indeed, man.
Right.
I appreciate you, my brother. You take care. God bless. Been on the phone with Pastor C.T. Kirk on the show. It was definitely an honor and a privilege to have him on. Made a lot of great points and really poured into, this what we call life. And on the strength of having Pastor C.T. Kirk on, we're going to go into more music from Poet JT featuring Hakeem the Poet. And this is Freedom Reigns here on City World Media. From my city to your world.
I win, so let's begin. I need you to listen to gain freedom within. It's the same, no change. What we hear is antique. The cries of our ancestors remain silent. A foreign language to America for justice is what we need.
I can't deny what I see,
Freedom to James Caldwell, a black Republican that gave Mississippi hell along the Reconstruction Trail. On trial and walked the Green Mile. Self-defense was his stand for killing a white man with his bare hand. The whole state wanted his fate for all to see, him hanging from a tree, facing an all-white jury. For that crime, he served no time. He was the first Negro set free. Freedom is Haiti from French slavery. Napoleon felt his grip slip, so he sent an army upon Navy ships. Haiti wasn't having that, so they fought back. Freedom or death for their liberation. They gave their last breath. But their bondage dismissed in 1804, they became independent. Only the second country to do so in the Western Hemisphere. Haiti's independence was fought for without fear. Say, man, I need you to listen, to no longer whisper. Shout from your mouth. Quiet lips don't sing slave ships while the police lay our young bodies out. This is the revolution that America don't want you to see. Yet they will never give us peace if we don't speak to be free.
No bondage, no chains. Prosperity and upliftment. We infuse in the atmosphere. Freedom reigns. Freedom reigns. Through the mountaintops, above what is said to be the friendly skies. Reality, though, brings a different tune. Not treated as an equal, yet striving for equality, inequality, as we continue to defy being boxed in. Gravity, though, challenges, obstacles, and inequality. Freedom reigns. It will, shall be, despite the hate, despite the hype. Reality says, no matter the race, creed, religion, We should, would, and shall overcome. Not just a warning, but a promise. Brings many distractions, but that faith journey, freedom reigns, freedom reigns. Not what's imprinted on the money, the dollar bill, the five, the 20, 100, but the imprint on your spirit says, in God we trust. Freedom reigns, freedom reigns. Yes, indeed, man. Freedom reigns from Poet JT and featuring Hakeem the Poet. We appreciate him, for that track. And we got another guest coming on the line, man. Will be on with us. A very influential individual, as he's done a lot of things. He's a guru at what he does, where it pertains to PR and public relations, and he touches and has an effect on a lot of people. And it's just a privilege to know him and to be associated with him. And without any further ado, I'm going to bring on live on the JT Experience right now, here and now. I got my guy Jonathan Coleman, some guy named Jay, in the building with me, man. So how are you? Yes. And I had him and must have lost him. So I'm going to pull him back up on the line in a minute. Give me a minute. I'm going to go to the next track. While I wait for him to get back online. Live radio, man, you can't make this thing up. This is how, these things go sometime. And it's really one of those, things that, live radio brings live things. So when you are on live radio, it's one of those things that, happens. And it's just like that. But we got my man on the line, some guy named Jay. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Wait, hold up. Am I on the radio?
Yes, sir. You are live on the radio with me because I'm live on the air doing my show.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Just drop me on in, but it's good. I stay ready, though.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, I'm just telling, man, you the GOAT at what you do. It's an honor to have you on because you're one of the greatest individuals that I met in this life because you mastered what you do, and you are on go and have poured into a lot of people. And we're giving you your flowers here on the show today because we appreciate what you do. And you have mastered it, man. It's like a master class to watch what you do and how you roll it out. So I appreciate you taking the time out to join me for a few minutes. I just wanted to give you flowers, man. It ain't nothing long and drawn out. I really appreciate you for what you do. There is no right or wrong when you create the narrative, and what you have done in your years of service have impacted and elevated a lot of people in what they were trying to do, man. So here live on the JT Experience on City World Media, man, I just want to tell you thank you, man. And I appreciate everything that you do. And on behalf of all the people that you help and you work with, and we giving you a big thank you and a hearty standing ovation.
Yes. Oh, yes. Now, thank you for the flowers, man. I appreciate the high praise. Definitely, man. I'm definitely thankful and appreciative of you having me on and speaking good of the things I do. And for all the people that's listening and watching right now, hey, that's a testimonial right there to the work I've done. So if you want to work with me as well, you definitely can do that. You can hit me up at info@themediablast.net or Instagram, JAYFORNOW, or you can look me up, Jonathan Coleman, on Facebook, and you can always inbox me and ask questions and definitely work with me. And I'm not one of those people that just keep. I'm not all about just trying to hurry up and make a sale with you. So if you just want to chop it up and introduce yourself to me, you're definitely welcome to do that too. I'm about my business, but I believe I'm a cool guy. You could just say hello.
No doubt, Jay. We played the brand new track from Nakia called "Alone." Played it to start the show off, and got a lot of positive feedback on the track, and it was really dope. I want to thank you for connecting the dots on that and getting that track in so we could play it live on air, man. Really appreciate you on that.
Oh, yes. Thank you, man. Yeah, definitely shout out to Nakia. The single Alone is available for streaming on all platforms. Yeah, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, shout out to Nakia. Shout out to Nakia. You know, she's the niece of Charlie Wilson of the Gap Band. You know, and she doesn't shy away from that. You know, that has helped her. You know, bring some attention to her music. But you know, her music also stands on its own too. Yeah.
No doubt, man. Got to get Nakia on the show in the near future to get her on and talk about the brand new track and what's to come. Where it pertains to her, she's a dope artist, and we look forward to that. Jay, I want you to plug what you have coming up and how the people can follow and lock in with you.
Okay, on the PR side, whatever my clients are doing, I'm doing. And you can find out about that by following me on any of the platforms. You know, any of the articles or the features or anything that I get them featured on, I post that up on my page as well. Rather I wrote it or rather I was involved in making the connection, of course. You know, I get that out there. As far as things I'm doing on my own, we got more episodes of The Session coming up. You can stream that on YouTube. There's youtube.com/@the-official-media-blast. And you can also stream that on twitch.tv, twitch.tv/the-media-blast. You know, just look up the Media Blast on Twitch and you can stream those episodes there. Can't stream it on Facebook anymore, unfortunately, but that's all good, though. We still keep it moving. And also write graphic novels as well. We have issue number 2, Masterpiece Publishing presents A Ghost Named Ray. That drops, that will hopefully we'll have it fully completed in November. But you can also get issue number 1 that's available on madcloud.com. And you can go to patreon.com/Masterpiece Publishing. So if you like to read good literature, you know, hey, check out my skills. You know, and the illustrations, everything is designed by Duty Designs. That's my brother, Christopher Coleman. He was featured in the October edition of City World magazine. He was on the cover, and he's also the cover story. So definitely check him out. You know, he's a graphic designer. So if you need any graphics, you need any logos or need any flyers, or if you need him to produce your graphic novel as well or anything, well, that's going to be a hefty price, by the way, if you give it to your anybody else's graphic novel. But either way, though, he's available for business. He's open for projects. Hit him up. But as far as what he's doing for me, for Masterpiece Publishing presents Ghost Named Ray, the visuals are stunning. It's great. Definitely check out my story. And I don't, you know, just because it's a graphic novel, just because it has colors in it, doesn't mean it's for kids. So don't, it's for kids. If you like a good story, you know, if you like a good story, it's for you. So, you know what I mean? It's mostly for, you know, young adults, you know, because we touch some heavy stuff, you know, but yeah, definitely check it out. And yeah, just follow me. I'll follow back. Hit me up. I talk back. I don't leave people on red. You know, I don't do anything. You know, so just hit me up. You know, I'm one of those people that you can reach out to and you get an answer. You know.
Man, I appreciate you, Jay, coming through, taking time out of your busy schedule. Please, everything that Jay said, you know, hit him up, follow him up, go look up the things that he said because he really is that guy and he's doing this thing big. So. Some guy named Jay, Jonathan Coleman, we appreciate you, and we'll have you back on the show soon. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon. God bless. All right, man. We had some guy named Jay on. We appreciate him tapping in again. Everything that he said, you know, go check him out and tap into what he got going on because it's the real thing. And he doing big things, man. And that guy is really talented. I mean, he's doing his thing, so it was definitely an honor to have him on the JT Experience. And just on my line, I tapped into one of my lines and wanting to pull in one of my brothers in the poetry world to come tap in with me on the JT Experience for a few minutes. So here live on the line, I got my brother Chriso on the line, and I want to welcome him to the JT Experience. How you doing, Chriso? Doing well, man. Just want to bring you on for a few minutes, man, just to chop it up as I'm on the back end of a live recording, man. And I just wanted to have you introduce yourself to my audience here at City World Media. Tell them a little bit about yourself and how they can follow you and get your book.
Yeah. So my name Chris Sove, coming straight out of Lancaster, South Carolina. Renaissance man. You can follow me at Chrisso _live poetry. Again, that is CHRISSO _live poetry. Doing big things here in the Carolinas and surrounding areas. People can get my book at Amazon, Trial and Error, the autobiography of the Trying Poet. There's 2 different versions. One version has pictures. The other version just have words. So yeah, we are here.
Crystal, I want to know how were you inspired to start writing and becoming the Grand Slam champ of all champs in the poetry world, and just an incredibly talented genius of a poet, man. How did you get that itch to start writing?
I got that genius. Well, my mother, she influenced me doing, because she used to have me do a lot of performing arts stuff like that, of that nature. Okay. And just poetry in general. I used to be a rapper, still am a rapper. And then eventually it, just rapping on beats here and there, but eventually it grew into something even more. It grew into spoken word, borderline public speaking, and then just having way with words, metaphors, double entendres and stuff like that. And more recently, I started to slam poetry, which, competition wise, and, became the Grand Slam champion of Columbia, and also became a part of the Tribe Slam team, which is the #1 slam team in South Carolina. So you already know.
Crystal, what were your first experiences performing live on stage? What did it help you learn about yourself as you started to get your feet wet and do more and more performances?
It learned that I love the attention. I like the fact that I can change people's lives with my words. I can change one life, or I can change many lives, depending on the type of poem that I spit. And that just gives me a good, rich feeling inside, just to inspire people to move forward and reach their full potential with my words.
No doubt, man. When you talk about your mom and the influence that she's had over your life, what is it that you could say were one of the greatest lessons that she poured into you?
The greatest lesson that she poured into me. She always told me and encouraged me to do my best. She always told me to do my best and forget the rest. Also, too, she always prayed over my life that I was going to be famous. And somehow, some way, I'm famous out here. I'm reaching for the stars, and I want to tell each and everybody that don't be afraid to go after your dreams. Sometimes people are not just going to hand it to you. Sometimes you have to create the opportunity and forge a path of your own. And that's what I'm doing when it comes to this poetry. I'm forging a path of my own.
So when we talk about the poetry, man, and I seen something from you a few hours ago, for us to get to see you in certain chat rooms, you really do get to see a genius at work. And I want to talk about what is the process that you go through personally when you're putting together a certain poem.
When I'm putting together a certain poem, well, I do this thing in my notebook called jigsaws. So I might write a stanza here, stanza there, in random places on my notebook. Then I have to figure out a subject matter or the topic, what I'm going to talk about. And then I take whatever the topic is, and I take those stanzas, and then I probably would number them in the order that I'm going to say the poem. So I probably have one in one corner, the other one in the middle, another one in one corner, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And then once I have what I'm going to say, then I start to do memorization of the poem. And, memorization is really hard for a lot of people. But the only way that I conquer that is just say the poem to myself about 11 times. And then once I got the memory down packed, then I put the performance aspect on it. I love to be in large rooms by myself. And then because it feels like I'm performing in front of 4 walls, and I treat the walls like an audience. Then I just go in, and then once I know I got that poem down pat, then I slowly start to present it to other people to get their perspective on it. And once I get the perspective that I need, then we take it to a bigger audience. And then after that, we just rock and roll.
Man, that's it. I mean, I've watched it. I've seen that process once you've recorded it, but what you just put in the atmosphere is how geniuses operate. And I'll say, I've watched you grow so much over the last couple of years, man. It's just amazing to just say that I've been on the same stages that you've been on, because you operate in a different mode and you challenge yourself, on another level, man. So I got an extreme amount of respect for what you do, and I give you your flowers, man, of just being a genius, because you're the masterclass on what you're doing in poetry, and I know you challenge yourself in anything that you're doing. So, kudos to you on that. Let's talk about what you got upcoming, man. What you got upcoming? What can people look forward to seeing you at? And what do you want to plug?
Oh, man, what do I got upcoming? Well, this week I'm going to be singing here in Columbia, South Carolina at Lux Life in Columbia off of Two Notch Road. We're doing a French tribute, a.k.a. the Purple Party. I'm going to be singing in it and performing in it. November 15th, I am hosting an erotic show with my partner in crime, Winter Storm. She's my co-host. We definitely gonna make some magic there. What else? Oh, November 20th, I'm featuring at the Kroger Center in Columbia, South Carolina too. That's something big. My name is going to be at the Kroger Center, and I'm definitely going to show up and show out. And me and Winter Storm, we just completed a project together. I just finished producing her Pain album, so be on the lookout for that. And then currently right now, I'm writing my second book, which is going to be a trilogy, and that's called I'll Let the Heartbreak Talk. It's still in the making, so y'all got to bear with me on this one. I don't know when I'm going to put it out yet. I'm still working on it, but still, I'm out here I'm doing what it needs to be done. Just trust that.
I mean, what you just said right there is enough for people to get a taste of what Poet Chriso is all about and some of the projects that you're working on. This will not be your last time on the JT Experience. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to stop through and chat with us here on City World Media, the JT Experience. Again, man, tell people how they can go follow you, find out how they can get tickets to these events, find out more information. How can they follow you on your Facebook, your IG, your social media handles?
Most definitely. You can follow me on Facebook, government name Christopher Blackman, or just look for Chriso. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Chrisso_live poetry. Again, that is CHRISSO_live poetry. Also, the same thing for my TikTok, Chrisso_live poetry. And also, you can look up my merch that I got coming up on my website, Chrisso1.com. Again, that is CHRISSO, Chriso1.com. I gotta get that. I gotta get my my website revamped, but I'm gonna have that out within the next week or two. So y'all, be on the lookout for me.
Again, Grand Slam champ, the poet himself, Chris So, live on the JT Experience. We appreciate you again, my brother, and we will be in touch with you soon. And good luck and great, extraordinary things are going to happen at those events that you got coming up, as well as those projects. Something I learned from Chris So, it don't cost nothing to share. Share costs nothing. So if you see something, the event he got coming up, share it, because you'll be doing the person a favor by getting them to a show that Chriso is a part of, because he's dynamic, he is the poetic genius, and he can show you, he can back it up. So I appreciate you, Chriso. We'll be in touch real soon, my brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, God bless you, man.
God bless you.
All right, y'all. This has been an incredible show here on City World Media. I wanna thank our guest, some guy named Jay Jonathan Coleman, also Pastor C.T. Kirk, and poet Chriso. A lot of great things coming up. We got brand new episodes each and every Thursday. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in and everybody that's going to watch here on City World Media, the JT Experience. Let me leave you with this. Each and every day, you got an opportunity when God wakes you up to have impact and motivate. Use those things wisely in your life, and you can't go wrong. I am DJ Poet JT, and from my city to your world, I am out. Peace.